Hey guys, it's Victoria, the Facts Agent at UGA Extension Carroll County. Today is our second video of our series called Just the Facts. Today we're actually going to talk a little bit about blood pressure, what it looks like, what causes high blood pressure, and ways you can maintain or even prevent from getting high blood pressure. So I hope you at least learn one good thing or one lifestyle change you can make that helps you with your blood pressure. Check it out. We want to start out by talking about what is blood pressure. Blood pressure is the force of blood circulating on the walls of the arteries. Blood pressure is measured between two different measurements, which you have probably seen. You have a top number and you have a bottom number. Well, those numbers, the top one is your systolic measurement, and then your bottom one is your diastolic measurement. And we're going to talk a little bit more about what these numbers are and what they mean. So before we start digging too deep into what our numbers mean, I want to let you know that high blood pressure is also considered the silent killer. It's called the silent killer because most of the time when you have high blood pressure, there are no other symptoms associated with it. So it's super important that you keep your numbers checked regularly with your doctor or even at the wellness fair. If you think that you may have high blood pressure, I encourage you to go ahead and get your numbers checked and be safe than sorry. There are 5 ranges that your blood pressure will fall into. We're going to talk a little deeper about each of them. But just to name them, you have normal, elevated, hypertension stage 1, hypertension stage 2, and then you have hypertension crisis, which we hope we never have to get to. The range we're going to look at is normal blood pressure. If you are considered normal blood pressure, that means that your blood pressure is 120/80 or under. So if you have normal blood pressure, it's important that you still get it checked on a normal basis, and you also continue those healthy habits you may be doing to keep your blood pressure normal. So the second range your blood pressure could fall under is elevated blood pressure. If your blood pressure is elevated on a consistent basis, that means the top number is anywhere between 120 and 129, but your bottom number is still under 80. If you fall in this range on a consistent basis, I would encourage you to make some of the healthier lifestyle changes, which I'm going to talk about in a few minutes, that will maybe help you get your blood pressure back to normal range. So the third range that your blood pressure could fall under is hypertension stage 1. If your blood pressure is considered hypertension stage 1, that means that your top number is consistently between 130 and 139, and your bottom number is between 80 and 89. If you are considered hypertension stage 1, I encourage you to start making some of these lifestyle changes and even seek a doctor for some extra further steps that you can make to hopefully get your blood pressure back to normal. So the fourth range I'm going to discuss is hypertension stage 2. That means your blood pressure is consistently over 140/90. If your numbers on the top or bottom are consistently over 140/90, you probably most likely are considered hypertension stage 2. With this, if you haven't already, you need to seek a doctor and get a little bit of medical advice. More than likely, your doctor is going to put you on blood pressure medication. However, it is still super important that you make some of those healthy lifestyle changes that we're going to talk about to help lower your blood pressure as much as possible. Last and final range that your blood pressure can fall under is hypertension crisis. If your blood pressure falls in hypertension crisis, that means that your blood pressure is over 180/120. If your blood pressure gets this high, you need to seek medical attention ASAP. Either call 911 or get somebody to rush you to the ER as soon as they possibly can. This is not good, and is when you are in this high blood pressure, it can more than likely lead to heart attack, stroke, or even death. So if your numbers are 180/120, please seek medical attention ASAP. So wrapping up, I just want to take a few minutes to talk about some lifestyle changes that you can make that will help you either lower or maintain that blood pressure. One of the first things you can always do is maintain a healthy diet. That may look like eating plenty of fruits and vegetables, getting your whole grains in, eating low-fat dairy products, and making sure when you do eat meats that they are lean meats. It also means reducing your sodium intake. Another thing you can do is maintain a physical activity level. That means getting at least 150 minutes a week when it comes to physical activity. You could get those things in biking, running, walking, playing out in the yard, playing with your kids, whatever that may look like. Another one that you could do is manage your stress. When we find ourselves having high stress, it can lead to high blood pressure. Even if you do have chronic stress, I encourage you to find ways to lower it, whether it's taking some medication classes, taking yoga classes, doing some journaling, talking to a counselor, whatever you may need to do to lower your stress. Another one you can do is limit your alcohol and tobacco use. Those two things can drastically raise your blood pressure. Last but not least, let's talk about if you do have high blood pressure or you seek a doctor, you want to make sure that you are taking your medication properly and on a daily basis. You want to always make sure you're taking it just as a doctor prescribed. Also, if you haven't seen a doctor but you think that you may have high blood pressure, I encourage you to make a doctor's appointment and talk to your doctor about some of your options that you have if you do have high blood pressure. These are just a few things that you could do to help lower or maintain your blood pressure. The last thing I want to leave you with is 2 different diets that you can look up and research yourself that have shown and proved by research to lower or maintain your blood pressure. So one of them is called the DASH diet. The DASH diet is a great diet that you can look up. Most of the plate consists of eating fruits and vegetables. The second diet that you can look up is the Mediterranean diet. The Mediterranean diet has been shown to not only help with blood pressure, but high cholesterol and any of those things that you may struggle with. So I encourage you to look up the DASH diet and the Mediterranean diet when you have a chance, and maybe one of those will suit your needs. So I know that I gave you a lot of information in just a short few minutes. I hope you learned at least one good thing and one thing that maybe you could change in your life to help you with your blood pressure. Regardless if you have high, low, or even a healthy blood pressure, it's important that we make some of these lifestyle changes to better our health and make sure that we are living as long as we possibly can and healthy as we possibly can. Just know that blood pressure can be very, very dangerous and even can lead to death, heart attack, or stroke if not taken care of. So I encourage you to seek a doctor, to get your numbers tested regularly, and to make some educational choices that you may need to make to help with your blood pressure. I will see you next week with Just the Facts, and have a great week.